Oh, didn't see you there. Don't you hate when people say that? Of course I saw you there. I'm the one that started the camera. Anyway, we're going to knock some things off of the truck today, or at least that's what people believe because of what I'm going to do in a couple of minutes. But before I get to that, there's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing today, and that's because I've made a decision. I'm going to make what I would consider a pretty big change to the truck. I'm going to put the sport bar that you can see sitting up there on the back of the Tacoma. Now, I've had that sport bar on Tacomas before. Matter of fact, I think the last Tacoma I had it on was a third gen, or I had it on a third gen previously. And then I did have it on a fourth gen as well, I think. I think I had it on the red, the Barcelona, or was it Barcelona? Supersonic red. They keep changing the names. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Now, the big question, of course, is going to be, if you do that, are you going to be able to keep the tonneau cover? And the answer to that is no. You can't, because the sport bar, if you look at the one that I have anyway, you can see there's kind of a rail there, right? And that sits right down on the edge of the rails, the top rails, or the bed rails, I guess. So the one good thing about that is they'll hold down the rails, I suppose. Not that I have any big problem with that. I did go with my kind of aluminum type fix, which seems to be working kind of well. There is another fix out there, which I believe there's a link down below, where you can buy an actual piece to put under. And I will be replacing my solution with these pieces. And I think, yeah, I still have them sitting here. They come from Charvona or billettiedowns.com. It's just a couple of pieces. There's two in here that fit on each side, slide up underneath there. It's a mechanical fix to keep the bed rail from kind of folding in and lifting up on the edge. So we're going to be installing these when I take the tonneau cover off. And that's indeed what I'm going to do. I haven't really had a need for the tonneau cover, so for me, it's not a big deal. And if I do need to haul anything covered, I guess, as long as it's not too big, it'll fit inside of that, which is my wife's. We got that not too long ago. I actually traded off the Jeep Gladiator. I didn't really need two trucks, and she wasn't a big fan of the Gladiator, and it really was her vehicle to drive or do whatever. So she fell in love with this, which I gotta be honest, I really do like it myself. I think I like it as much as the Gladiator. It's just fun to drive. It handles a little bit better. Not that the Gladiator's bad, it really isn't. But it's just a step up, I think. And it has a lot more options and things on it too, like heated steering wheel and heated seats, which we really need down here in South Texas. Not really. So anyway, what I'm gonna do, I've gotta take this thing off and then I'll sell it somewhere locally. No, I won't ship it or anything like that. And then I'll have the sport bar on. Now, I am a fan of sport bars. I would call them roll bars, but nonetheless, you can see what it looks like. And if you've been on the channel for a while, then you've seen this on the truck before. It does fit really well. The only issue, I think, of having that type of a sport bar, which is rounded and kind of square on the truck, is this spoiler part up here, this part that juts back. The sport bar is going to sit kind of right in this area here, and it doesn't really marry up directly with that. So I'm not sure if moving it, forward or backward would kind of make it look a little more integrated to the truck or not. But nonetheless, I love the look of it on there anyway. Plus, it allows me to add lights if I want. And I do have some lights. I have kind of a homemade bar that I made. You guys can see it sitting up there, as well as an LED light bar behind. So I've got quite a number of options, things that I can add to the truck if I want going down the road. We shall see. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that. The sport bar is wired for it. You can see up on top, there is some wiring laying up there. That's because I have wires running through the sport bar to be able to hook up, I guess, to have lights on top of the truck. And honestly, as I'm talking about it in this video, I think I probably will end up doing that because it's another thing that I really like on the truck. I like the look of it. I'm not sure if I dig the setup that I came up with or not. Maybe I'll use that LED light bar up there. We should take a look at that. And put a couple of pod lights on each side of it or something. I don't know. It's not the longest light bar. I might actually have a longer one inside that box. If I do, I'll probably use that and then maybe put a couple of pod lights on each side. We'll see. I can still utilize the bar that I made to do that, which works really well. And then wire, I guess, the LED light bar that I use separate from the pod lights that I'll put on it. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. And it might even be interesting to turn a couple of the pod lights around so they're facing backwards and down so that I can light up the back side or the back area of the truck, you know, for like backing up at night and stuff. That might be kind of cool. Although it might look kind of funky having pod lights on the truck that actually point backwards. Anyway, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, according to a lot of people, what I'm gonna do is bad for the truck, it's bad for the paint, it can knock things off the truck, all this craziness, right? I'm talking about running it through a car wash, and I do run it through a contact type car wash. So beater bars and ribbons and things are gonna smack the truck as I go through. I haven't noticed any issues in the paint. I'm sure if I got a magnifying glass out and a bright light and looked for swirls and things, I would find some. But I would argue that you're creating those when you hand wash it as well, because anything you contact with the paint as you drag it along to clean it is gonna leave little marks and things in the truck because it's grit and dirt, right? Anyway, enough talking. Let's get over to that car wash. I'll run you through with me just for kicks so that you can see the carnage. Okay, we're here. Here we go. I have a membership here, so we just kind of pull up and wait for the thing to go up, hopefully. Looks like it's working. Asked me if I wanted a receipt. The answer is no, I don't. All right, now, part of the fun of this is lining it up. I always try to line up the tire correctly to make sure that I get it right. All right, we're in. Let's turn you guys a little. Excuse my hand. Let you see what I'm seeing. I actually hate car washes. I find them very creepy and disconcerting. Maybe it goes back to some childhood trauma, although I don't remember any. But nonetheless, I always think, gee, what happens if this thing goes nuts and crashes through my windshield or breaks off my mirrors or any of that? And it can happen. I remember back in the old days when you pull through an automated car wash, you would see a bunch of antennas leaning up against the wall from antennas that were ripped off going through car washes. Obviously, I don't have any antenna. I do have the shark fin up top, but I've never had any issues yet, so hopefully we don't have any. And it's gonna get loud here in a minute. The other thing is, what if you get stuck in here? Listen to that, it's quite loud. But anyway, I respect the people that hand wash their vehicles. I did it for years myself. But as I've gotten older, I've gotten lazier, I guess, and I just don't want to do it. I mean, it takes too much time. I don't have a ton of time because I'm making videos for you guys. And also, I'm running a Facebook group. never checked that out, it's 4th generation Toyota Tacoma owners group, and it says by RobMotive on it, so it's really popular, and I would recommend you check it out. Anyway, we're just about